Hi everyone. The other day I said that I might give you some tips on how to deal with other people who are not eating raw, so friends of yours who are not eating raw, or maybe family. And I think all the raw foodists go through this. Also maybe the people who follow a vegan diet and a vegetarian diet, they all go through the shock between the normal people and the new type of life that you are having now, the new way of eating. And with raw food it's even more radical, because you are not only vegetarian, which is something that people heard about, even if there are raw foodists since ever. The trend is only increasing very recently. We have to put ourselves also in their shoes and think, how was I behaving some years ago? What would I think if a friend of mine would come to me and say he's now a raw foodist? I would also would have find it strange. So try not to make it as a personal attack to you. In the beginning, it was a little bit harder for me to deal with this, because I have never felt different. I mean, I have always felt a little bit different, but I have never been treated as different. So it's hard to deal with the first words like fanatic and radical, and that what you are doing is unnatural and weird. And this is because why? Because we take it as a personal offense in the beginning, and it's really true. I also felt it sometimes as a personal offense, and after a while it became so hard for me to deal with it that I have decided to stop answering questions. And this was actually the best I did. So what you can do is, when friends start to ask you, oh, but why not? Can't you eat these barbecued vegetables? But come on, it's just, a little bit heated. And you don't want to have a discussion about diet every time you eat together with your non-raw foodist friends, because this is tiring. And I mean, it's not something that you want to talk about when you are with friends. Yes, you want to have the same kind of conversations that you usually have, and have fun and not make it so serious. So what I did in the beginning was, I would just say, no, thank you. I don't feel like it. So I don't feel like eating that. Thank you. Oh, but don't you think it's nice? It's good? Oh, I think it's very good. It looks very good. But this is not what I want to eat now. And if you tell this to people, the discussion is more or less over, because there is nothing people can say when you don't feel like eating something. If you don't feel like eating something, that's it. It's end of discussion. Because sometimes I would just think, gosh, I don't want to be with them again, because I know what will happen, again, I have to go over my reasons why I do this, why I don't do this, and can be a bit tiring. So in the beginning it helps a lot just to say, I don't feel like it, because it's not a lie, and it's true, and it stops the discussion. After a while I realized that I always felt a pressure with other people to eat something that I wouldn't usually eat. Afterwards I always felt bad, but not bad in terms of psychologically bad, but really physical, because when your body starts to get very clean, all these things, so your body becomes becomes like a radar of what is not good for you, what is unhealthy. And you can eat, and it doesn't mean that you are eating something cooked and your body will feel bad, but it means that, for example, if you are eating rice and it's refined white rice, your body will feel bad because this rice is not natural. It is quite processed and quite chemically treated in the factories before they go to the plate, so before they are sold in boxes, of course. And your body can just feel all this, so because it's so attuned to what is natural that it really feels all these strange things that are not natural, and it just wants to expel it somehow. So what happens to me when I eat something that is not natural, I start to feel my throat very dry and I cough a little bit. I'm glad I don't have like really serious symptoms, but I do have this. Sometimes I feel more tired after, and if I eat something with bread, I know that then I have a lot of mucus the next day. It's incredible. Now I know where mucus is coming from. It's from this kind of food like bread. So when this happened and I had to go through these effects that are not very pleasant, I start to think to myself, why do I feel the need that I have to eat at least, what people give me? Because of course I think of my friends and I want to make it a pleasant situation, a pleasant moment. And what I have realized is that all this is more in my head, so the pressure is more in my head than in real life. It's me. I make the story before the story happens, because many times after I felt this, if I say, with no dressing, bring me a salad with no dressing, or if I go for a dinner with friends and say, don't count on me when cooking because I will take my own salad, I will take my own fruit, and people accept it. They just, yeah, sure, okay. So I realize it's not such a big deal. So most of the pressure is in my head. I make the story before the story happens. So I already am making all these things that people will think of me, and I don't want to make them feel bad, and this situation might occur. I avoid things that are not even happening. So it's all a little bit in my head, and I have to get rid of that. I just have to think, I do what I want to do. And if I look at something and think, I don't want to eat this now, I don't. At least that is the best approach. If you want to deal with it, you really have to think that most of the pressure is in your head. It's not in other people's, it's more in you. You are making it difficult for you. So just release it, and don't make things more complicated than they are. When you are confronted with people asking you questions and making it difficult for you, because some people can be quite annoying, because people do have stressful jobs and they have to deal with nasty people during their days, and then they have to somehow put it out on somebody else. Or some people just have a need to defend their own egos. And really remember, it is not an ego battle. So have this in mind. You do not need to defend your ego. This is very simple. You do not need to do it. So check yourself. When someone asks you a question, you can check. Is this person openly and genuinely want to know, and this, I try to be sensitive to this, and I'm getting better, and then you can answer? Or is this person now looking for a discussion, you know, looking for a way to show off their own ego? And just check yourself, and you might feel the need to defend yourself. You might feel the need to see, okay, I'm being attacked, therefore I have to defend myself. But remember, you are defending your ego. You are not going anywhere with this discussion, because this will not win anything. It will just give a bad feeling in the table or between you two, and this person will not change her mind or his mind. You will not change your mind. So it will just be for your egos to feel better, yes, but your egos might feel better by battling, but you are not feeling better. Afterwards, you will feel negative emotions, yes? You will leave this dinner or this discussion feeling down, feeling negative, feeling bad, and always regretting, why did I say these things, and why did I have to go to this bed? So check yourself before. And if you see, okay, this person is just wanting a little ego show off, try not to answer so much. Try to say, yes, well, maybe I just don't have the same opinion, but it's okay. I mean, you can eat whatever you want, why not? It's your life. Who cares? It's okay. I did this sometimes and it works. So if you are just nice, sometimes just this works. The person leaves you alone because it did not find companion to a good companion to show off her own ego. So therefore it's not worth going after it. Otherwise she will look bad in front of others, yes? If she goes after you, still attacking when you are giving such a nice answer and just such an open-minded and acceptable answer. So yeah, just check your ego and try not to fall in these ego traps, these traps that our world likes so much, yes, that we are all so much part of now, everywhere, yes, in jobs, and we have to break this cycle, yes, we just have to, we don't need to battle each other all the time to show off knowledge that it goes nowhere. If there is a open-minded, if there is a open door on the other side, then you welcome, yes, this knowledge, and you can give what you know. You might also realize that some of the things that people tell you, and sometimes it might be perceived as an attack, is nothing more than justifications for themselves to feel better with what they are eating or still eating. So, you know, many people do have information nowadays of what is healthy, and they do know what is the correct way of eating. They do know, but it's so hard to break old habits, and it's so hard to stop eating things that we like. They are not happy in giving it up, so they will find a lot of reasons and strategies to justify why they are eating it. And they might even be quite happy when they find studies, or they read something in a magazine, or that can kind of protect this way of eating, that can kind of defend this way of eating. People do understand what is the healthiest because it's so simple. I mean, you just have to eat the closest possible to nature, and it is clear that this is the correct way of eating. This is the healthiest for your body, because your body is nature. So the closest you are eating to natural things, this is what your body will be synchronized to. Good that you do understand what is behind of the arguments that people tell you, because once you understand it, you know, why is this person saying these things, or why is this person being so defensive, or why is this person talking like she's attacking me or he is attacking me. So once you understand what is behind it, it makes it also so easier for you, because you don't have to take it personal anymore. You know that this is issues that this person has with herself or himself, not with you. So this person is defending their way of living, their own style of eating. So in order for them not to feel bad, so in order for them not to feel guilty, you know, and also in order for them to not to look bad in your eyes, maybe this could also be that they don't want you to look at what they are eating and judge it, and they might feel that you judge it. So it's always hard to put yourself in other people's shoes and know what they are thinking, but it's good then to understand that there might be a lot of reasons behind it. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with their own need to justify their lives in order to avoid guilt. And when the discussion is open, and when you genuinely see that somebody is interested, I think this is then the right time, also the right time for this person to hear about a new way of eating, because this person is ready to change. While this person is not ready to change and still defending their own old habits or not wanting to let go of something, it's because this person is not ready, and you don't have to force anybody to do it with your arguments. The maximum you can do is just to provide somebody that is open and wanting change. You can be the one who is giving this information, so to help this person to make the change that this person is already wanting to make. And I think this is the right time then to enter an open discussion and debate about food and diet habits. And one thing that you will realize after you are eating raw food for, I would say, some months, after 1 month it already starts. If you are really strict and do not eat any processed food for 1 month, no bread, no coffee, no pasta, no pizza, so really clear for 1 month, you already start to feel these happy effects, this joy, this peace inside you. And if in the beginning it's hard for you to deal with the reaction of other people, how can you do it? After, when you start to feel this happiness and this joy inside, you'll see it's so much easier to deal with people and the reactions of people. It's so much easier because you are so much more in peace. So you are not impulsive anymore. So you don't have this need to answer in a way of attacking anymore. So you know, it just gets easier for you to deal with it naturally. It gets easier naturally without thinking about strategies anymore. You don't need that because it's all just so much more natural. That is how you can deal with other people who are not raw foodists. I hope it helped a little bit.